In last video, we seen there was two problems with main. The first problem was sleepy thinking of main. Main, in fact, creator of main was thinking in terms of integers rather than in terms of points. And every time if there is change in a point, main has to change. Main has to change its code each time if the point data type gets a change. Let us solve one of the problem. The first problem, which is thinking, sleepy thinking in the terms of integer, let us make our main to think in the terms of point rather than terms of integer. For this we will use structure. Using structure we will make our main think in the terms of point, not in integer. But again, if there is a change in data type, main must have to be changed again. Structure will solve only one problem, which is a thinking problem. Now we will think in the terms of point, not integer. But second problem, after changing, main should not change. This problem is still there after using structure also. So let's see a program. This is our new program, and I want to open other program also, so that side by side you can see and compare between those two programs. So I want to open another program, actually our previous program which we have been created in last lecture. This was the program. Okay, now compare it line by line. What is happening here? We have specially declared a data type. If you know somewhat C or C++, then you know structure is a user defined data type. Okay, like integer is a data type, same as structure is also a data type. And we can create object of type structure, just like we are creating object of type integer. So here this was integer only. So in this program we was creating p1x, p2x, everything of type integer. But see here, we are creating point type of data, like that p1x is the type integer, p1x is of type integer, just like p1 is of type point. Or since point contains two integers, so p1 will have its two integer. Actually this is not the part of this course. We are going to discuss about object oriented programming, no, not about how memory looks after a variable has been created. So I will not go in very depth, but you are creating a variable of type point, and point contains x and y both. So you are creating a variable in which there are two sections, x and y. Okay, ultimately if you are not understanding just think this point as an integer, just like you was creating a variable of type integer. Now you are creating a variable of type point. After doing this, you start thinking in terms of points, not in terms of integer. Here we have defined all separate x and y as an integer. Here we have defined only 3 points as a data type point, not integer. Here we are taking input as p1 dot x. Dot means we have to access this x using p1. Okay, p1x means x of p1. p1 dot x means x of p1, because each of these three variables has different x and different y. So p1 dot x means x of p1. p1 dot y means y of p1. p2 dot x means x of p2. This type of things. Okay, you can say what is difference between this and this. Nothing is different, but only one thing is different. Now you are start thinking in terms of points rather than in terms of integer. So this is your program in which we have declared three variables of type point. We are taking input x of the p1, because all of these has different x and y's. We are taking input as y of the p1, we are taking input as x of the p2, we are taking input as y of the p2. Again we are adding x and y of p1 and p2 to get p3. We are printing x of p3, we are printing y of p3. Okay, then one problem has been solved. We start thinking in terms of point. Our variables are of data type point, not of type integer. But other problem still remains. If there is a change, we must have to change the code of main, which we do not want. Our second goal, if you remember, our second goal is we should not change the code of the main if anything is going to change inside the data type. Okay, ignore the commented part. Now our program is just of 2 points and we are adding it. Now run this program. Enter point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, working good. If we have to change again our program to z, then we do not have to declare a new variable in the main, because now main is not thinking in the terms of integer. Main is thinking in terms of point, and we have already declared 3 point, and main has to work on 3 point only. Okay, so we declare a new variable int z here. Now after declaring this variable, each points now have 3 sections. Initially it has 2 sections, x and y, and after declaring z, all the variables of type point has 3 sections, x, y and z. Now apart from accessing x, apart from taking input x of the all variables p1 and p2, x of the variables p1 and p2, y of the variables p1 and p2, we must have to take input z of the variables p1 and p2. So take input z of the variables p1 and p2. We have, and see, all this burden is still on the main. This problem has not been solved. Only first problem has been solved. We started thinking in the terms of point, but still if there is change in data type, main must have to cope up with this change. This is what we are doing here. So one problem still remains. Compile this. G++ is a compiler. We are passing our file test1.cpp. G++ compiler compiles the file and creates an executable file whose name is a.out. Dot means current directory / a dot out. If you are not getting what the hell I am doing, you can do whatever you want. You can, if you are using suppose Dev C++ or you are using say code blocks, then you use whatever you want to do. Enter the point 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and it works. It's good to see, but our problem still has not been solved completely. One problem has been solved. We start thinking in the terms of point by declaring the variable of the data type point, but if there is a change in data type point, we must have to change in main. We do not want. In next video we will in fact solve this problem. Okay, then bye for now.